Alright, welcome to the third video of this tutorial series. So let's just start off by going to the base package and we'll create a class called base util. So right click new Java class and let's call this base util. So this is where I'll have my test ng logic, like before method and after method. And let's just start off by creating a public driver. And real quick, just set up the before method annotation. So before method from testng, and this method is going to be called setup, public void setup. It's a pretty standard naming convention, and we'll have an after method, and let's call this public void tear down. So basically, the test cases I'm going to set up is gonna run before so the driver is gonna create before each method, and it's gonna destroy the driver after each method. If you would like to have a class with multiple methods and run all those methods with the same driver instance, then you can just say before class. But I'm just gonna use before method. Alright, so the idea here is that let me just create some more classes real quick. So within main in Java, I'm just gonna create a new package, and I'll call this manager. And within manager, I'll create some more classes. So let's create a class called driver manager. And within manager, let's create another class called driver manager factory. Let's create another class. This is going to be called driver type. And one last class. Let's call this Chrome driver. Let's see, Chrome driver manager. That's right. So now I have created 4 new classes within the manager package. And let me just show you real quick what I'm trying to do. So if I go back to the base util, I want to just zoom in a little bit. So in the before method, what I'm trying to do is whenever I call on driver manager, let me just create an object out of the class. So driver manager. So whenever I call it on the object driver manager, so this should be equals to driver manager factory, which in itself will have a method called getManager. So this will be the logic where I'll add switch statement, and I'll come to it eventually. And the getManager method should accept a parameter of the driver type class, which should have like Chrome, Firefox, constants, and so on. So this is the basic idea. So now we have a driver manager factory class, we have a driver type class. So let's just go into the driver type and add. So right away I can just go ahead and make this an enum because I don't want it to be a class. I just have a bunch of constants. So I'm going to add Chrome, Firefox. So these two should be just enough for now. So if we look in the base util, we can see that the error went away. So in the driver manager factory, I'm gonna have to create a method. This is going to be a static method since I'm directly calling it from the class. So let's just go to driver manager factory. And within the driver manager factory, let's create the method. So this is a static method, and the return type will be our driver manager, and the method name was getManager. And as I mentioned before, the parameter would be a driver type, and let's call it type. So now the error went away. So let's just, I know that it seems like a lot, we have 4 classes, but if you look in the before method, it just is so real clean and simple. We just have one single line to call on the Chrome, and the logic itself is just divided up. So it's just easier. If you would to add a Firefox driver, then it would be really easy. But let's just build these out first. Alright, so let's go to the driver manager. So this actually is going to be an abstract class. And here what I'll do is I'll create a WebDriver, and then what I'll do is I'll have three abstract methods. So since they are abstract methods, they'll have to be called abstract. So abstract void, and this one is going to be called start service. This will start the service, start the driver. Let's create another abstract method, which will be called stop service. And the final one, which I'll call create driver. And now I'm going to create two concrete methods. So the return type is going to be a void because this method is called quick driver. So basically I'm just going to quit the driver instance. So that's why I don't have to have a return type other than void. So here I can say if driver is not null, so if it's not empty, if it's still open, so then I can do a driver.quit. Let's add another method, and this is gonna be the get driver. So since I'm getting the driver, I have to have a return type of WebDriver, and let's call this get driver. So here I can add a similar if block like the quit driver. So if driver is null, so basically if driver instance doesn't exist, then I can call on the start service method and on the create driver method. And since I am using WebDriver as a return, so I have to go out of the if block and say return driver. So this is the base structure of the driver manager class, which I'm going to be able to use everywhere else. So let's just go to driver manager factory real quick. So here we can see that I really don't have anything yet in the get manager, but let's just start off to build out this thing. So I'll just have to create an object out of the driver manager class. So driver manager and driver manager with lowercase d. And here I can create a switch statement, which is going to take in the type from the driver type. And the reason for that is if we look in the driver type one more time, here I have Chrome, Firefox, and remember if I want more I can just simply add like Safari, Internet Explorer, and so on. Maybe if I want to be able to run headless, I mean it's totally up to you what you want to do. So that's why I'm passing in driver type. So here in the switch statement, all I'm saying is so if the case is Chrome, then I'm going to start the Chrome service basically. So here I'm going to have to say driver manager, the object equals to new, and you guys remember that I created a class called Chrome driver manager, so this is going to be the class where I have all the logic for the Chrome driver itself. So in the driver manager factory, I have to say new Chrome driver manager. So right now it's gonna give me an error because really I don't have a whole lot of things going on. So basically what I'll do is add a break as well, and because we have to add break for switch statements, so and we need to add a default block as well, so I'll do that. Default, oops, so the default can also be driver manager equals to new Chrome driver manager and break. And then we need to add a return statement because this method is returning the driver manager, so I'll just return the object driver manager. And the reason why I'm getting an error is simply because if I go to Chrome driver manager, this class is going to extend from the driver manager, so it's going to implement all those abstract methods. So let me start off by saying extends from driver manager, and it's gonna give me an error itself because I have to implement those methods. So let me just implement the methods, and we can see start, stop, and create. So let's do that. So now if I go to driver manager factory, the error went away. So that's fine. So we're almost done. So now we just have to implement the Chrome driver manager manager class. Since we're not using a regular way of creating drivers, Here what I'm going to have to use is a Chrome driver service, which is from Selenium, by the way. So if I go to the Chrome driver service, I can see that this is from the package Selenium Chrome. So I'm gonna create an object out of Chrome driver service, and let's call this Chrome service. Short and sweet. And within these methods, I'm going to add the implementation of the Chrome driver itself. So let's just start off with a simple one. So in the create driver, since I'm extending from driver manager, and driver manager has a driver instance, so what I can do in Chrome driver in the create driver method is say driver equals the new Chrome driver. So, and here I can pass in the Chrome service object, because the Chrome service object is going to be it's going to have a lot of implementations in the start service and stop service. So let's start off with the stop service because it's the simpler one. So here I'm going to have to say is if the Chrome service is not null, basically if it's still running, and I can add another one. So if Chrome service dot is running, so that's an inbuilt method for the Chrome driver service. So if these cases are true, then what I can do is I can say Chrome service dot stop. So it's going to stop the Chrome service. So now that we have that out of the way, let's look at the start service. Here I can create an if block saying that if Chrome service is equals to null. So basically if the Chrome service is empty, if it doesn't exist, then what I can do is I can say Chrome service equals to new Chrome driver service. So here's the thing, I'm going to call on a method, so I'll remove the brackets and just say dot builder, and then let's go to a new line and let's call another method by saying dot using driver executable. So this is going to be where I pass in the driver path. So I'll come back to that real soon, and then let's go to a new line, say dot using any free port. So I'll use any available ports, and let's go to new line and say dot build. So now all I need to do is just to pass in a driver, basically a driver. So what I can say is new file, and the reason why I'm saying that is if I look in the using driver executable method, which comes from the driver service class, it accepts a file as a parameter. So that's why I have to say new file. And within new file here I can pass the path to the driver. So something I did not show you is I created a directory called the driver. So this is where I'll have all my drivers. So I'll just use something, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, so let me just show you. So within the new file parameter, I'll just say system.getProperty user.dir. So basically all I'm saying is look at the current directory where I am at. So if I use it, I don't have to use the entire path. So system.getProperty user.dir, and then I can just concatenate it with the rest of the path, which should just be /driver. And since I'm using Mac, I can just say Chrome driver. If it's Windows, then you have to say Chrome driver.exe, but I'm using Mac, so that should work fine. Another thing is if you're using Windows, I think you have to do a double backslash instead of a single front slash. So just be aware of that. So this should be it. So this is basically the Chrome driver manager class, where we have the driver, the driver logic, the driver type is the enum, the driver manager factory is the switch statements, and the driver manager is the methods which we can implement or override. So now in the base util, it should be all good. So whenever we run, another thing I forgot is I have to say driver equals to driver manager dot get driver. So this will basically start off Chrome. It seems like a lot of effort, But really, if let me just show you something real quick. Let's say that all of a sudden you got a requirement to add Firefox to the framework, Firefox support, not only Chrome. So what you could simply do is, in the driver type, we have a Firefox constant. So what I can do is, I don't have to touch driver manager anymore. That's already set up. So in the driver manager factory, what I can do is to add another case, which is going to be Firefox. And this time I'm going to say driver manager equals a new Firefox driver manager. And we don't have this class yet. I just have to create a class and a break statement. And it's really simple. We can see the Chrome driver manager class. All I'm doing is overriding the methods and putting in my own logic here. And I can do the exact same thing for the Firefox. So this is the main advantage, that you can dynamically add more things. Let's say that you have another, your manager perhaps say that we need to add support for Safari. You can just say case Safari and then just say driver manager equals a new Safari driver manager and a break. So all you have to do is just to create a new class called Safari driver manager. You extend from driver manager, override the method, and just use a similar implementation. And it's really simple. I mean, you don't have to do a whole lot of things in the base util class itself. In the later tutorials, I'll show you how to make this more dynamic, how you can use TestNG to your leverage to kind of select when you want to run what browsers and whatnot. But let's just stop the video for now.